We developed this partnership here at Tonsley with Flinders University as part of our Factory of the Future work, experimenting with different technologies in the digital space, Industry 4, looking at how the human beings interacted with the technology. So more about the technology and how it works with people rather than technology for technology's sake. You know, a live shipyard doing live work is not the best place to basically play around with technology and introduce new things and to be able to experiment, and also to bring in small to medium enterprises with some of their ideas and really sharing the learning and the knowledge that we're gaining through implementing the technologies.
Just tighten on the back and then this should fold down and sit like just above your nose like that.
Human factors is really important to ensure that technology is adopted, because if it's not good to use, it's not easy, it's not actually helpful in getting the job done, then people find it frustrating. Worse than that, it can cause injuries. So human factors is about that match between the tasks people do, the technologies they use, and the environment where that happens.
So you've never used this before?
No.
Okay, yep.
Sorry.
There we go, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Works. It takes some time to get used to.
Yeah, I think the Line Zero Factory of the Future is a great way of introducing new technologies and trialling it, so people can come down and see where it may fit into their industry or their workplace without having to do the investment. You can come down, you can have a look at it, see what it does. You know, you may be able to bring down some of what you do and put it in that environment and trial it. As more people get involved, I think you'll see a greater uptake.
So what we're going to do, we're going to go through the different steps. So we're specifically going to be doing 2 steps for 2 different wires. So we're going to be doing 04050 and 03040. It shows you the layout of the box and what we're actually going to make.
Yep.
And then just to the left on the step card, the big blue arrow on the right of the card, light blue one. Yep, that one. Cool, stare at that, and that'll go to the next card. This is going to tell you how to install the cables, so you can see that.
Using the HoloLens to do the assembly was very interesting. It provides a good level of information right in your site of work, so that improves how quickly you can do it and how quickly you pick it up. So electrician's not my background, but being able to pick it up just through watching the different pictures and images was really useful, and I think it would really improve manufacturing and assembly for heavy industrial or industrial situations where you have a lot of processes to go through.
So we are very interested in introducing the new technology in our manufacturing facilities and also with our startup as well, to give the training to the unskilled or the apprenticeship. With this, it's easy for us to determine the measurements and to give the quality assurance to the product rather than going through all the codes. And so I think it is easy to use. It's efficient.
So what's going to happen is Kosta's going to be able to dial in and see what you can see. Yeah. So he's going to be able to talk you through fixing this problem. Yeah.
We cut a lot of foam at form cut, so it could help with some of the more complex machining operations to let the operator know where to put the material and what it's going to look like, how long it's going to take, have all that information readily available to them. Though because of the limited view window of the headset, it was a little bit annoying to have to crane your neck kind of up and down. The battery life was really only enough for a few hours, and I can see that being a big issue if you wanted to continue using it through the whole day. The technology is cool, but with any technology it has to be more attractive than the previous generation. At the moment, I can see a few areas where it needs to be improved so it can compete with just paper or having a touchscreen that you can carry around. But yeah, the integration, it seemed like one system with the headset and the robot. That was pretty seamless, yeah.
Yeah, the cobot is very interesting technology. Being able to have a cobot or robot working so closely to a human without having to have it guarded is really good technology. And being able to do that verification where you're taking the human out of the verification is a great idea, because you're not having somebody repeatedly doing it and losing interest or skipping over steps because they've done it 100 times. So you're always going to get the same inspection results, and if you can have that across a multitude of different industries and aspects, then it's certainly something worth looking into.
Overall, people found the system relatively easy to use, a good level of mental demand to be engaging but not too taxing. They did find that it was, as a workflow, a little bit cumbersome. There was some inconsistency in the commands, but by and large they found it worked very well as a system. They enjoyed using it, they did find it useful in getting the task done. And they particularly enjoyed the opportunity to put in a call to the supervisor so that they could work together. So they were some of the really positive features. Some of the opportunities for improvement, if you like, were that some of the interface design could have been a bit better. They would have preferred buttons instead of some of the gesturing, and over a long period of use that could possibly be a bit frustrating.
That measure that we're getting is called heart rate variability, and it's going to give you an indication of stress, and that can be physiological stress, psychological stress. You might be having a bad day, you might not have slept well, and we might be able to see things from that. And we also have temperature, so if you get flustered at work, you feel like you're on the spot, or you might be on camera, we can detect your change in temperature. Wearables in the workplace, we're thinking about how can we make a worker's life better. The answer to that is usually making sure they go home as safe as possible. Make sure they can go to their families. One of the big ones is musculoskeletal disorders. And they come from things like posture, exertion, cycle frequency of work. But then there's the ones that are the exertion, the ones that come from heart rate. Then general stress. Is someone having a bad day? Are they tired? Did they not sleep? Were they up with, did that kid have a cold last night? You don't want them to be putting others at risk. If we can capture these things and measure them, we might be able to intervene in the workplace to have a more preventative approach to injury rather than a treatment approach. We want this to be used for proactive management. We want it to so the boss can go, hey, you're a bit under the weather, maybe this isn't the best day to have you driving a forklift. That's the way we want this to be used as.
I think the wearables offer a lot of opportunities for understanding what creates issues in the workplace. So for example, when our CNC programmers make an error with manufacturing, if we can understand how they're feeling leading up to that error, or if there's a reoccurring physical or mental stress that occurs before a mistake is made, then we can establish that and identify that before the mistake is made. Yeah, I think the wearables offer a lot of opportunity for efficiency improvements and also making sure that we're manufacturing their optimal levels. So I think there's some great opportunities there.
What we'd really like to see at the pilot factory of the future is more and more SMEs, prime contractors coming in, conducting experiments, sharing the learning the same way as we are. You know, this is not about people's IP, this is about the knowledge that builds industry, and that's really what we'd like to see happen here at Tonsley.